are so caught up in your work at the hospital, where do you get off calling the shots on Whitney and Simone?
Oh, that is so unfair, TC.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you what's unfair. How about being married to a wife whose work is so important that she can't make it home for dinner, or lunch, or even breakfast? Eve, you're like a stranger in your own house. And if anybody knows what Whitney is capable of, I do. I work with her day in and day out. I have never missed a match. I have never missed a practice. And you're never there.
I try.
You try. You know, trying doesn't cut it. Whitney has a talent and a focus that most athletes don't have. Whitney has played brilliantly even when she was sick. And she would have played today if you hadn't have blown the other night out of proportion.
Out of proportion? Her sister hates her because she thought that Chad was her boyfriend. I hardly think that Whitney is overreacting.
Whitney would have won today because that's exactly what we work on all the time. But in one day, in one morning, you have seemed to have thrown all that out the window. And in one day and in one morning of you trying to act like a mother, you've completely trashed everything.
Looks like my sister's perfect little life is crashing down all around her.
I'm very pleased to introduce you to Mrs. Julian Crane, who would like to tell you about the millions of dollars she's announced that she'll be donating to various charities. Mrs. Crane.
Please, call me Teresa.
Teresa.
I can't believe this. Where's Julian? Where's my mother? I thought they were gonna stop her.
Your generosity is amazing.
Oh! Do you see how serious this is? That woman is trying to systematically give away every penny the Crane family's ever made.
You mean stolen?
Well, what's the difference? I have to get rid of her before she breaks me. My entire life is riding on what you know. Just tell me it's for real.
Oh, it is indeed, Julian. Every last bit of it.
God, how could you betray me like this?
Well, I'm sorry, old pal. I never thought things would get quite so far out of hand. But I'm here now to make up for it. When I tell you what I've got, you will be free of Teresa forever.
All right. Tell me what you know.
Well, it's like this.
I've covered all my bases, Mother. So, you can tell your new caregiver here how I'm gonna kill Sheridan to get Louise for myself, and guess what? Precious won't say a word to anyone. She can't.
I can't believe that you hired a monkey to be my nurse.
Orangutan, Mother. Precious is an orangutan. Now get it straight, or she may just set you straight.
Oh, this is insane. You are insane! Woo!
Insane people can't be held responsible for their actions. So, even if I do get caught for killing Sheridan, I'm not gonna be executed. I'll be sent to some cushy asylum for treatment, but I'm not gonna get caught. I'm gonna get away with murder to get Louise.
Please. Please don't kill Sheridan, please.
It's not like I want to. Sheridan's forcing me to by refusing to let go of Louise.
Duh! Would you look who's talking?
I'm not a monster, Mother. And I'll prove it.
How? You're gonna have Jack Hanna come over and pick up you-know-who and take it to the ZOO?
If Sheridan can't bring herself to tell Antonio that she loves Louise, then she's gonna stay with Antonio, leaving Louise free to be with me, and I won't have to kill her. But if they do tell Antonio what's what, I've got to kill Sheridan to get Louise. Well, that's fair, don't you think? If I was a monster, I'd kill Sheridan regardless. This way, she lives. Just as long as she doesn't tell Antonio the truth.
I know what you're trying to tell me. I don't know why I didn't see it before. Maybe I didn't want to because it was just too impossible for me to imagine. And I know you didn't want to tell me because you didn't want to hurt me. And you thought this could crush me. And you know what? You're right. This could kill me. How could a person destroy a relationship between his own brother and a woman he loves? It's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of the bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
Whitney. Hi, honey. I was thinking about you all night. How you doing?
Awful. My life is completely falling apart.
No, honey, don't say that.
I was always afraid that if Simone found out the truth about Chad and me, it would crush her. That's why I didn't want to tell her. I just kept hoping that Simone would realize that Chad wasn't right for her. You know, that she would let him go. That way Chad and I could be together without her feeling like I stole him away from her, you know?
I know. And instead, just the opposite happened.
Simone walked in on Chad and me making love. It was the worst possible way for her to find out the truth. Now she thinks that I went behind her back to get Chad. She'll never accept the fact that Chad was never really her boyfriend. She hates me. She won't even talk to me. And on top of that, I'm causing problems between my parents.
What do you mean?
Mom and Dad are having their worst fight ever. And it's all because of me. I'm just afraid of where all of this could end.
I guess I'm less concerned about Whitney's tennis rankings than I am about her. Poor baby. Between hurting Simone and feeling like she lost Chad, she's very emotional and she doesn't need you pressuring her into playing tennis.
And I don't need you interfering in things that don't concern you.
My daughter's happiness concerns me, as it should you. That's why we have to find a way to work things out between Chad and Whitney.
There's nothing to work out. Chad is history and Whitney's going back to tennis.
Well, it's not that easy, TC, because she's in love with him.
Eve, we are her parents. We make the rules around here, and I forbid her to see that punk. I'll get a restraining order against him if I have to.
That punk, as you call him, saved Whitney's life. Not just once, but twice, and took a bullet that was intended for me.
Well, damn it, we all have to make sacrifices. And Whitney has to make a sacrifice to be a tennis champion. Get away from Chad. As simple as that.
Isn't there any way that we could compromise?
No. Because Whitney has to have her sole focus on tennis. Or she just might as well just throw it all away. I mean, she cannot have it both ways. Chad is out, and that's final.
Well, I am not gonna sit here while you kill an innocent woman. Sheridan has done nothing wrong.
She stole Luis from me.
Luis wasn't yours to steal. You lost him years ago.
That wasn't my fault.
It doesn't matter. Even without Sheridan, Luis is not gonna get stuck with the likes of you.
Yes, he will.
Oh, really? Really? He had all that time after high school, you know, before Sheridan even came along to pick up where you left off. But I didn't see him breaking down the door here, honey, no. No, he stayed away.
No, you shut up!
Oh, kiddo, you have got to face the truth here. Even if you kill Sheridan, you're not going to get Luis or any other man for that matter. As a matter of fact, come to think of it, you should call the agency, you know, that brought over little Precious here. Have him bring over a male monkey, because that's as close as you're ever going to get to having a man.
Precious isn't a monkey, Mother. She's an orangutan. Now get it straight.
Orangutan, chimp, baboon, whatever. A monkey is the best you'll ever do, because a top banana like Luis, woo, way out of your league, honey.
What could be worse than a person destroying a relationship with his own brother and the woman he loves?
Antonio, I know that this is bad,
Bad?
but
It's too awful for words, Luis. Listen, I'm the one that has to live with this searing, gut-wrenching pain for the rest of my life. And I know why you didn't tell me. I mean, why kick a man when he's down, right? But I didn't die. I lived. And you didn't want to live any longer with a brother's betrayal eating away at you like that. Luis, I have to tell you something. I'm so sorry.
What?
I know this is about another man coming between you and Beth, and you lost her. And it's all my fault. Can you ever forgive your own brother for doing such a terrible thing?
These checks are just a start. I plan to set up permanent endowments for all these charities and more. As Mrs. Julian Crane, I want to use our vast fortune to help those in need.
What incredible generosity.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Still no sign of Julian or your mother. Maybe Teresa's right. Maybe there's nothing they can do to stop her.
If my father and your mother can actually bring down Teresa, now would be the time to do it.
I wish I knew what was happening with them.
Bastard keeping a secret like that. Your silence put me at Teresa's mercy, which made my life a living hell.
Julian, it is no time to get angry with Bruce. It's time to get even with Teresa.
Yes, we must focus on the target. But still, what you did was outrageous.
Besides, Bruce is giving us the answer to our prayers.
You know, Rebecca's right. I've given you everything you need to get rid of Teresa.
Yes, I suppose you have. Not a moment too soon.
Would you look at Teresa? She's being so smug and cocky.
Not for long. Thanks to Bruce, I'm off the hook. Lock, stock, and burrito.
So what are we waiting for? Let's go give little Evita the heave-ho.
In the middle of a TV interview?
Yes, it's all the better. I'm going to destroy Teresa in front of a live audience. It'll pack more punch than an hour of The West Wing.
Chad is out of Whitney's life. And as for her seeing any other boys, completely out of the question. I have worked too hard for Whitney to drop out of this now.
And what about Whitney? What about what she wants?
Either you with me on this or not, but I won't let you stand in front of my daughter's future.
Oh, your daughter.
And I won't let you destroy everything I've worked for.
Do you know in 20 years of marriage, you have never spoken to me this way?
Well, you have never sided against me on something that's so important.
Oh, God, TC, I'm not siding against you. I'm concerned for Whitney and what's best for her.
And I'm not?
I didn't say that.
Well, I tell you what, don't say anything, okay? Because Whitney is going to forget about all this Chad business, and she's going to move on to be a great tennis star. Chad is out of her life, and that's final.
Excuse
me. I mean it, Eve. This is an area that I will not move on.
TC, nothing is more important to me than you and my family and my marriage. And we can't let things like Chad and Whitney's tennis and my career affect us this way.
Then why the hell are you fighting me, Eve?
Tennis is your dream. Having a strong marriage and a happy family is my dream. You want to hold on to your dream. I want to hold on to my dream. I won't let anything or anyone break up our family.
Is that what you think I'm trying to do, Eve? Is it break up our family?
I've never heard my parents fight like this before.
Yes, well, it does sound pretty bad.
And it's all my fault. I feel like my whole family is falling apart.
No, wait. Everything will work out fine, Whitney.
No, it's not. Simone hates me. She locked herself in her room. She won't even talk to me. My parents are fighting, and I let my dad down big time by not playing tennis today. I wanted to. I really did. I was gonna at least try, but I just couldn't do it. I'm too upset about my family and losing Chad.
TC was pretty hard on him.
Daddy forbid me to ever see him again. What am I gonna do, Liz? I love Chad so much. I can't lose him. I just can't.
Louise, can you ever forgive me? Look, I know if I hadn't left town all those years ago that you and Beth would be married now. You broke off the engagement to take care of the family. And just like Sheridan and you told me, when you did that and you and Beth went apart, she met someone else and she fell in love with him. Now that man is back in the picture, and he's what stands between you and Beth being together.
Antonio still doesn't get that Luis and Sheridan are talking about themselves. And how many times does this make that he's misunderstood?
I don't know, mijo. Too many to count.
Antonio, this isn't about Beth as much as it's about you. I know. And I don't know why I didn't see it before. But when I came back from the brink of death, I should have known something was wrong when you and Beth weren't married. But all I could think about was how happy I was to be reunited with Sheridan. I'm sorry for being so selfish. And I'm sorry for not being the brother that you deserve.
Stop laughing at me!
I can't help it. See, if you were Jane and Luis was Tarzan, you'd end up with Cheetah.
Shut up!
That's right, Cheetah wanted a date.
You listen to me, you twisted old hag. I'm not gonna let you make me feel bad about myself anymore. I'm gonna get Luis back, and we're gonna get married. And we're gonna have a wonderful life together. Do you hear that? I'm gonna get what I want, even if it means I have to kill Sheridan.
You will never get away with it.
Yes, I will. And you can't stop me.
Well, we will just see about... Whoa! Oh.
You just try calling Sheridan or anyone else to warn her. And just know this. Precious has been trained to stop you if you do. What? What? You don't believe me? Try it. Go ahead. Pick up the phone. See what happens. Just do it. I dare you.
Your generosity is amazing.
What's amazing is that Teresa is getting away with this.
Tell me, Bill, what is your favorite charity, and I'll make a donation on your behalf.
Well, no, that is so incredibly generous.
It's easy to be generous with other people's money.
Look who's here. It's your husband, Mr. Crane. Mr. Crane, tell us, how do you feel about what your wife is doing?
Well, let me put it to you this way.
This can't be good for Teresa.
Julian, we are live on national television.
Oh, well, even better.
Why did you do that, Mr. Crane?
Well, for the simple reason those checks are all forgeries signed by Mrs. Julian Crane. There is no Mrs. Julian Crane, for I'm not married. This woman is not my wife. She never has been.
You are are my passion for life.
Go ahead, Mother. Pick up the phone. See what happens. Just know that Precious has been trained to stop you with force if necessary. I didn't warn you. All right, Precious. Mother won't try calling anyone again. And don't you try leaving, because Precious has been trained to stop you, no matter how many bones she has to break to do it.
You are keeping me prisoner!
No, I'm not. Precious is. So you can't call anyone and you can't leave. And here, thanks to Precious, you can't do anything to stop me from killing Sheridan.
Antonio, please. This isn't right. No, it's not. Because you put your life on hold to take care of mine, and you lost the woman that you love doing it. That cost you your relationship, Luis. You know what? And I'm the person responsible for that. For keeping two people, two soulmates apart. Mama, I'm sorry.
Antonio, you don't have to apologize.
Yes, I do. This is all my fault. Miguel, I just want to tell you, I'll try and be a better brother to you than I was to Luis.
Antonio, you don't have to.
You don't understand the agony that you're going through? Yes, I do, Luis. I can't even imagine what it would be like if I lost Sheridan. In fact, I don't think I would want to live anymore.
Antonio, please don't say that.
It's the truth. I love you heart and soul, Sheridan. I would rather die than not be with you.
This woman is a fraud.
Julian, darling, I am your wife, and I've got the marriage certificate to prove it.
Oh, really? Well, I have something even better. I have proof that you aren't my wife, and never have been.
Keep rolling, we don't want to miss this.
You say that you have proof. Where is it?
Oh, he's right here.
You.
Yes. Bruce, you may come in now.
Who is that?
Teresa's executioner. The man who is going to end her life as Mrs. Julian Crane.
Hello, Teresa. Remember me?
It just hurts so much, knowing that I wounded my family. Losing the man that I love. God, I just ache inside and out.
Oh, Whitney. Honey, I hate seeing you like this. If I could do anything to stop this pain, I would.
Just you listening to me really helps out a lot. You've been such a good friend to me, Liz. You knew about Chad and me, that we were involved, and you never told anybody. You even kept us from being caught together more than once.
Well, honey, I knew that you guys really loved each other, and I know that you never meant to hurt Simone.
But I did. In the worst possible way.
Whitney, sweetie, please, don't blame yourself for that. What's done is done.
But if you could catch me with Chad, I should have known that Simone could too. Chad and I should have just been more careful. Or we should have told Simone the truth from the beginning. Chad wanted to, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And now, look, everything is such a mess. I don't know how to fix this.
Sweetie, just give it time, okay? And know that no matter what, I'm here for you.
Thank you. Thanks, Liz.
You know, Whitney, I
I see what's happening in your family, and I do want to do something to make it better.
I do appreciate that you want to help us out. But what can you do?
Plenty, I hope. But don't tell your parents. I want it to be a surprise. Especially for Eve.
TC, I don't want to fight with you. I think that we can work through this, and I know that our family is too important for us to be at odds.
And sweetheart, I don't want to fight with you either.
Okay, look. I'll talk to Whitney about Chad, and I'll see what we can figure out.
Sweetheart, I knew that you would figure this out. I knew that you would find a way to help Whitney forget about this romantic business with Chad and focus back on tennis again.
TC, that's...
Honey, I know it won't be easy. But I know working together on this that we're still a team. Honey, it's gonna work out, okay? It's gonna work out. I'm just so glad that you will be able to bring Whitney around.
Losing Sheridan is something that I would never want to do. Never. And I hate that I've caused you to lose Beth, and I hate that I've caused you all this pain. And I want to do everything I can to make things right, Luis.
Tell me, this isn't about Beth. It's about you.
I know you're frustrated. Now, please, if I can just have a little time alone, I just want to collect my thoughts and try to make sense out of all this mess I've made of things, okay?
The way to fix things is for the truth to come out.
Sheridan, can you please just take him in the hall? I don't want to see him upset like
this. Well, I've got good reason to be upset here.
Luis, mijo, just do as your brother is asking, please.
God, things just keep going from bad to worse. What are we gonna do, Luis? You heard Antonio in there. He said that he would rather be dead than live without my love.
He might have his sight back, but he still can't see what's so obvious to everyone else.
Love really is blind. Yeah, well, we've got to open his eyes to what's really going on here.
I don't know how.
I'm going to the chapel to pray for both you and Antonio.
I'll go with you, Mama.
Gracias, mi.
Luis, what are we gonna do? We cannot tell Antonio the truth now, ever.
Hello?
Beth, it's Antonio.
Why are you calling? Is everything all right?
No, it's not. Sheridan and Luis just told me what's going on.
They did?
Yeah, I know what everyone's been keeping from me all this time.
I'm sorry. I know how difficult that must have been.
It was awful, but I'm convinced that you and my brother can get through it. And I know that you still love my brother in spite of everything.
Yes, but,
Beth, if you can just come to the hospital, I'm sure you and Luis can get everything back on track and be together again.
Luis and me?
Yes. Please, Beth. Just come down here. Let me help you and Luis be the couple that you were meant to be.
Bruce. You said your name is Bruce.
Anna, don't tell me you've forgotten already.
Bruce.
All right, this interview's over. Okay, enough is enough. You're gonna have to pack up your stuff and leave.
No, the story is a ratings bonanza.
I said you need to leave now. All right?
Tune in later to the NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw for continuing coverage of what promises to be yet another scandal for the famous, some would say infamous, Crane family.
Who is this guy anyway?
I don't know. I mean, he
looks familiar. And I'm sure that I've seen him, but I just don't know where.
Oh, look, judging by the smug looks on my father and Rebecca's faces, you better remember, okay? Do it fast.
Do you take Teresa as your lawfully wedded wife?
What's up?
Oh.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Bruce was the best man in my life to Julian.
Honey, I know that you can bring Whitney around and get her focused again on her tennis instead of back with Chad.
TC,
Honey, sweetheart, what is it?
I can't make any promises, but I'll do my best.
Honey, I know you can do it. The future of our family is riding on this.
Whitney, don't worry. Everything is going to work out just fine.
Thank you so much, Liz. You are really the best. You always know exactly what to say.
Honey, I think I just have a different perspective on your situation, that's all. But if anything I say helps, it's great. But now listen, you come to me and know that I'm here if you ever want to talk.
I appreciate that. Oh, Mom, how are things going between you and Daddy?
Oh, fine, honey. Everything's just fine.
Good. Liz and I were just having a really, really great talk. She gave me some great advice.
Well, that's nice. I wanted to talk to you too, honey. I was thinking maybe you could go up to your room and I'll join you there in a moment.
Oh.
You know, Eve, I always wanted a daughter. And now I'll have two. And a wonderful, loving husband as well.
Stay away from my family, Liz. I mean it.
In case you haven't noticed, your family is falling apart. But don't you worry. I'll be there to pick up the pieces after you're gone.
You'll never take my family away from me, you bitch. Never.
Well, who was that? What about you and Luis?
It was Antonio calling from the hospital. Sheridan and Luis are there, and Antonio said that they told him the truth, but it doesn't sound like he knows that Sheridan wants to be with Luis.
What makes you say that?
Antonio wants me to come to the hospital so that he can help me and Luis stay together.
Oh, Antonio gets his sight back and he's still blind.
I better get changed. I gotta go see what's happening.
What? No, you can't leave me alone with her!
Mother, you'll be fine. Precious will take good care of you.
Merciful angels, help me!
Oh, just remember, Precious is not gonna like it if you try to use the phone or leave. So just don't get any ideas.
Wait, what did you say?
I said don't get any ideas, you deaf old bat.
Oh, you are so evil! You're insane! Woo-woo!
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Why? Because I have no intention of ending up a bitter old woman like you in diapers. Now, one way or another, I'm gonna be with Luis, and we're gonna have a happy life together. And no one is gonna stop me, especially you. Isn't that right, Precious?
Luis, we cannot tell Antonio about us. Not now. I mean, did you hear him in there? He thinks that he's betrayed you as a brother. If we tell him that we're in love, it will kill him.
Sheridan, come on, I hate this as much as you do, okay?
Oh, I saw Antonio in there, how upset he was when he thought that he'd hurt me. How somehow he's got it in his head that Beth and I are soulmates and I'm all broken up about losing her and that he's to blame for it. Sheridan, I know that the truth is gonna crush him, but it's the only way.
I can't do this to him. We just can't.
Sheridan, do you want to be with me?
Of course I do.
Do you love me?
Than anything.
We have to tell him the truth, no matter how hard it is. Come on, every time we get close and we don't, it only makes things worse. Luis needs to know that Beth's on her way. He'll be back with the woman he loves in no time.
Bruce was the best man at my wedding to Julian.
Okay, well, look, this can't be good. I mean, the guy's gotta have something on you. My father to be acting this way.
I don't even know him, Fox. I mean, what could he possibly have on me?
Oh, this is it, Ethan. This is the end of Teresa.
I'm afraid you might be right. Julian looks way too confident to be bluffing. And he knows he has Teresa right where he wants her. Headed straight out the door.
As I said, you are not Mrs. Julian Crane. You're not my wife. You never have been. That being the case, I want you gone from this house, from my house, within the next 60 seconds. And don't even think about packing. You came with nothing. You will leave with nothing.
You cannot do this to me, Julian.
Oh, yes, we can. So, bye-bye. Be gone, shoe. Andale.
You heard Rebecca. Be gone. Return from whence you came.
Am I losing Sheridan? Don't tell me that's what it is. Am I losing her?
You bitch. We are not married. We never were. So get out.